Today, lots of sunshine, a high, upper 80s to near 90. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Don't touch my beef jerky now.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Green takes a knee, and that's going to do it. The Razorbacks have had to battle today. They survive. They beat UAB 37-27, and as Sam Pittman heads to midfield, his football team is 2-1.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Light the candle.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about this now?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those.
A little more drama than maybe you would want to see in the first game at home in Fayetteville this season. Nevertheless, Arkansas able to get a 10-point victory, 37-27 over the visiting UAB Blazers. Now, there's plenty of stories from Saturday, including an injury that I think was probably the biggest takeaway of what occurred during the 60 minutes at Razorback Stadium. We got plenty to discuss. You're welcome to jump in here on a Hot Take Monday at any point. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of hot, scalding takes as there were during the morning program, and just hoping we continue those in the next 2 hours of the Morning Rush.
Morning Men, brought to you this morning by Will's RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. It's Hot Take Monday. Stop in and see all the best brands at the best prices. Get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Lee J and Chris and the team, I'm sure, are fired up and ready to go after a hog win this weekend. That's Will's RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Will's RV.
They're going to try to clear the field. Let Green run it left at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. It was a low snap. Green picked it up and just kept on.
We came out and played extremely slow in the first half. Couldn't throw and catch it. You know, it was 3 for 14. We got bailed out a little bit because we could run the ball. You had 250, 60 yards again. That's bailing us out, but we couldn't throw it.
Not a good game at all. Any team in the SEC is going to beat the hell out of us if we play like that. So we need to find a way to clean up those mistakes and play a lot more physical. We didn't play our brand of football today.
Kamara looking for his 4th touchdown of the game. Alvin Kamara's got 4.
It's time for the opening drive.
Christian, I'm sorry I had to throw that last highlight in there, but I was watching that game live yesterday, and that was brutal if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Alvin Kamara, 4 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they have scored, I think, 40-plus points in the last 3 regular season games.
Haven't punted.
Yeah, I think it's 10 straight touchdowns with the score. So Dennis Allen, who was on the hot seat heading into this season, has done pretty good so far with that offense. But the real story is what happened in Fayetteville with Arkansas, whose offense didn't look anything like we saw during the course of the first 2 games, struggled to pass the football. Tommy, let's just be blunt about it. As bad as Taylor Green was at points during the game, and as bad as the Frisbee thrower was during points of the game, which you didn't see.
I didn't see.
But you probably heard about from Morning Rush listeners and what the Frisbee thrower might have had a better completions percentage than Taylor Green, who's 11 for 26 on the day.
It was not good.
No.
Early, what was it, 2 for 11, I think, out of the gate or something of that nature. I saw come up in the statistical graphic. I mean, to say they struggled throwing and catching is an understatement. It was a reoccurring theme in Sam Pittman's comments following the game. Oh, I thought you were playing.
Oh, sorry. I was stopping another one. That's my fault.
All right,
Misfire.
So,
kind of like we saw on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, had a little incompletion there. And then on top of that, you compounded the problem with very poor tackling. I mean, the defense did not have their A game in the first half as well. And the defense is starting to become a bit concerning at the line of scrimmage. And we're going to find out a lot more. And I don't want to say this is a put up or shut up week, but this is a defining moment this week on the road at Auburn.
Yeah, Hank Brown, for those that don't know, redshirt freshman quarterback, got his first start for the Auburn Tigers this past weekend. It actually looked pretty decent. Now, keep in mind they were playing New Mexico, who Auburn, like the Razorbacks, were mid-20s favorites against them. They ended up completing their task of beating the team pretty good on the road. Now, it wasn't as smooth sailing as maybe the final score presented itself to be, but they looked better offensively than Arkansas did in this game. I think what is one of the questions, I got a lot of questions following 3 weeks of football, but outside of Andrew Armstrong, who are you 100% confident in that can make a play against an SEC cornerback, linebacker, or safety? And that is a scary situation when if they double team him or bracket him, as I heard Gino Bell say in the post-game press conference, that's an issue. Now, we thought it was going to be Luke Haas, who coming off of last season and the 4 games I believe he played looked magnificent as a true freshman. But, guys, they really haven't targeted him, to be quite frank, as much as I thought he would. In fact, he did not receive, unless Stat Broadcast is incorrect, he didn't even receive a target during the course of that game, Tommy.
I'm sorry. I had a little vomit in my mouth. I just looked at the first quarter numbers and the passing numbers. 0 for 5 with an interception. Ooh, I mean, just brutal. First half, 3 completions in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah,
I mean, these things won't work. And I know we're going to get to this later in the show, but why is it the Hogs are flat at home and seem to play better on the road? Sam was questioned about that after the game. And, I think there's some things going on. I know the guys talked about it earlier this week. Sam talked about these things in the postgame about players in green jerseys, the lack of physicality that they needed in practice. They had to make choices in players. You had a key part of your coaching staff and Travis Williams, whose wife had a baby. I mean, that's not an excuse. That's a reason. Missing practice. That maybe there were some disjointed things this last week leading up to the preparation. But you would think, or I would like to think, that your talent, if you're an SEC team, is good enough to overcome those things against a team like UAB. But once again, at home, you make a non-conference team look better than I think they probably were, and Arkansas was just flat at best for a lot of this football game.
Yeah, Coach Pittman was pretty obvious. Coach Pittman was pretty honest after the game. His defense got whipped.
Defensively, we got whipped on both sides of the ball in the first half. They were in 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 3, just turn around and hand the football off. That should not happen to us. It did put us in rough situations.
Played much better in the second half, but you made a fair point about where this defensive line is right now. I'll give Landon Jackson credit, and one of the final plays of the game, he's the one that tipped that ball that led to the TJ Metcalf interception, which, by the way, TJ Metcalf is second on your team in tackles. He's been awesome through 3 games. But, again, when you play, not necessarily this week against Hank Brown and Auburn, but when you play Jackson Dart or Quinn Ewers if he's healthy, or some of the other talented SEC quarterbacks, and you're not able to get them to the ground, you have 5 sacks through 3 games. That's really, really bad, considering where maybe you expected to be. So there are some issues right now through 3 weeks of the season. We'll see if they get resolved. And then you have to come back to this as well. You went up against a veteran quarterback in week 2. You played Cupcake week 1, a team that had a good game plan in week 3. Now you're playing a redshirt freshman quarterback this next week. Have you fully revealed every nook and cranny within that defense? Are you going to blitz him more? Are you going to come after him more? That's something I've thought about heading into this first SEC game in Auburn this week.
Well, who was it I heard say? I don't remember which game. What maybe the Arkansas game you're watching, but you drop back on the veterans and you blitz the youngins or something to that nature. It's an old football adage. I just don't have it right, but with a young quarterback this weekend. Do you send more pressure? Can Arkansas cover? I worry because the more pressure you send, obviously, can you hold up in man-to-man coverage? Can you have enough numbers to win those battles? Because Arkansas right now is still not at the level I think you're going to need to not get shredded apart by some of the better teams when it comes to passing defense.
All right, we're going to take some calls, go through your text as well. It's a Hot Take Monday. Brian Ozark is our first one up. Brian, welcome into the program, man.
Hey, what's going on? That was a laughable game, but anyways, I got a couple comments for you.
I bet you do.
Yeah, first comment is I'd like to up that bet because I have no doubt Arkansas doesn't get close to Quinn Ewers or, Arch Manning. The guy, everybody wants to know where I came up with this comment that Arch Manning wasn't good. He was only good in name only, and everybody needs to know that's what you said. That Arch Manning was not a good quarterback. He was playing on his family name. When I told you, I watched the orange and white game, and Arch Manning will destroy Arkansas's defense if he plays against them. He's that good. He's already considered the number 7 Heisman potential already after one game. He's going to be a top NFL pick. He's a better quarterback than Arkansas has ever had. That's all I got to say. But you're the one that said Arch Manning was no good playing on.
So I just want to be clear. You're basing your opinion of Arch Manning through a spring game and one game against UTSA at home. That's your.
He's better than anything you got, dude. He will destroy Arkansas's defense.
All right.
Arkansas' defense sucks.
All right, Brian. I think we're pretty. I think we've been pretty clear on what you think about Arkansas. You're really just regurgitating the same information over and over again. It would help if you came up with some new content.
Texas plays a cupcake this week too, by the way.
Play Monroe, who they're 40-something.
Well, who did they play last week? UT San Antonio?
And then Colorado State the week before.
I mean, they did beat Michigan.
Michigan sucks.
Arkansas State.
I don't care, but it's still Michigan. Yes, Arkansas State played them within 10, but it's still you still went to the big house and you came out victorious. There's still a lot of value in that.
Text from Cody and Lavaca. We have to get Luke Has more involved. He's a stud. Yeah, I really don't know. And again, I don't know if this is Petrino holding back. I don't know if he's not as been big a factor. I will say, I'm not. Clay's the line of scrimmage guy, right? But if you watch Luke's a big factor in the run game. Arkansas right now, y'all, I've got some stats with me. I'm going to bring these up. But Arkansas has a top 15 rushing attack. They're inside the top 5 with rushing explosive plays. They're third right now in 10 or more yards of rushing plays. They're the number 1 team in the country in third down conversion rate. Number 1 in the country through 3 games. So there are some positives, but I'll go back to the point you made before the show. I'll go back to the point that you said we're going to hold on. I don't want to hold on. Arkansas's got to find a way to play good football in front of your home fans. It is embarrassing, to be quite honest, that this continues to be a trend under Sam Pittman. I'm not going to just skull bleep him. They won the football game. They won by 10. They played better in the second half. But there are fans that pay hard-earned money to watch their football team have success at home. It was a trend really starting in 2022 after they had a really good 2021 season, and it's been the same pattern since. I don't know the issue. I don't know another team in college football that plays better on the road than they do at home, but for whatever reason, that has been a staple of this Arkansas Razorback football team the last 2 and a 4th year. It makes no sense whatsoever, but we sit here this morning once again having to react to a lackluster win, albeit win, at home.
Luckily, these next 2 are on the road. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Maybe we need something tough like powder coating. Maybe we need to powder coat the defense. Would that work? River City Coatings in Van Buren. When paint's just not tough enough, powder coating is the way to go, and River City Coatings can do that for you. They've been doing this for more than 25 years. They've got the experience, offer a variety of colors, and what sets them apart is how quickly River City Coatings can get your project done. Fast. Within days, sometimes next day service if needed. Powder coating is not only stronger than paint, it's better for the environment. There's no drips or oversprays. Over time, the process can save your investment and save you time. And we're talking patio furniture, rims, brake calipers, farm equipment, farm parts, and a whole lot more that will last longer when you have it powder coated. Pretty much anything that's metal can be powder coated. Talk to my buddies over at River City Coatings in Van Buren. 471-7675 is their number, 471-7675, or go to rivercitycoatings.com.
Gary's phoned in from Tampa, Florida this morning. Gary, welcome in. You're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate you guys' radio show, and this guy from Ozark, Brian, I used to get up and think, yay, I get to listen to some good Arkansas sports talk, yay. But he's on every talk show. You guys are first caller today. I'm wore out. I think I'm just gonna quit listening.
You want me to ban him? Is that what we need to do? Just ban him? Just censor him out?
John and Blytheville suggests we have a sponsor that bans him. We're up for hire.
No,
Go ahead, Gary.
No, that's not necessary. Just the latitude that he's given to talk down about the Razorbacks. I want to hear something good about the Razorbacks and positive. And I really don't care anything about hearing anything about the Texas Longhorns every day on every talk show.
Well,
thank you very much.
Gary, you know what? Come November 16th, that's what's going to make it even sweeter when you beat Texas and just shut Brian's big fat mouth up. That's going to make it all that much better.
Gary, it is a free country. I'm not in favor of intervention or cutting. I would just appreciate some new content and some new information instead of him just saying the same thing over and over and over again. I
think he's that smart. Think he could.
Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, like you're saying. But I think like the Arch Manning thing this week, and Arch comes in. I mean, Quinn Ewers has a history of getting injured, and he got injured again. We'll see how much Manning has to play this season, the rest of that way for Texas. But back to the schedule thing, because there's a lot of meat on this bone when it comes to Arkansas at home. And I want to reiterate, they won the football game. But if you were paid attender on Saturday, if you paid to go inside that football game, you probably think that wasn't a great return on your investment, even though they won. So last year, a 28-6 win against Kent State. They lost to BYU. They lost 7-3 to Mississippi State. They got clocked by Auburn 48-10. They beat FIU 44-20, and then they've got their brakes beat off. I mean, 48-14. Like, I just don't. That football team wasn't that great last year, but it's the inconsistency that makes no sense. Bad football teams play better at home, and they get rocked on the road. I don't know if it's the pregame speech. I don't know if it's the build-up. Now, you cited some credible examples with Travis Williams having his kid this week, 5 or 6 guys, and forgetting the number, being in green jerseys on defense and having to deal with that. By the way, Addison Nichols apparently had that ankle injury during this week. He not just re-aggravated, it looks like he upped it, unfortunately, during the game. That's the key. I mean, that's the key to Saturday, is how Wiggins, as your backup center, plays against that Auburn defense and snaps and everything else. But something has to change. Because, Tommy, for whatever reason, this has not worked. Whatever build-up, whatever lead-up to home games, it's not working. It worked in 2021. Hadn't worked the last 2 1/4 of a year.
So
blows my mind.
Is it process? Is it preparation? Is it the excitement of the first game and the nerves? I mean, that was your, what'd you say earlier, the biggest non-conference crowd? I mean, bigger than the Texas crowd, right? 76,000.
75 most non-conference attendance since 2006 USC. Either tied it or
75,021 people were there. Way over what we thought, because I put the over-under at 65. There's 10,000 more there.
I don't think there was that many there. I know that's.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, y'all. You were there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, looking on TV, the upper deck looked fairly full. The north end zone's sometimes a tough read, because you got the inside part that people go into the SEC club and that different stuff. It never was jam full, but
food and drinks in there.
Right. I mean, they go in for a variety of different reasons, but so sometimes the north end zone isn't a great judge, and you see that a lot on TV. But and you rarely see the west side watching the game on TV, but the east side in the Sun Field looked full. So I can only imagine the west side was just as full, if not more, to capacity.
One of the things Derek and I were discussing on Hog Reaction following the game is Sam Pittman's got to help himself. You help yourself by beating Oklahoma State 2 weeks and starting your season off of an insanely high note. You beat Oklahoma State. Everyone, college football media, fans, everyone looks at Arkansas defense. You dominate a team you should dominate at home. You're not helping yourself. And that is going to hurt when it comes back this season. When people want to question his leadership, they'll cite the Oklahoma State game. They'll cite the UAB game. I don't get it. Maybe one of y'all can tell me what happened. I saw a team that came out flat. You can't come out high every single game. I acknowledge that. But I would think the flip side would be it's your first Fayetteville game, Tommy. It did not being the case.
If you want to be just a middle-of-the-pack SEC team, your talent level and your base offense and defense should be enough to never fall behind 17-3 to UAB. Is that fair?
I would agree with you on that.
If you want to be and I think what's clear is right now, not saying this is, set in stone, but I think it's pretty safe to say Arkansas is not even middle of the pack in the SEC. Doesn't mean they can't be. Doesn't mean this week they won't go down and, hey, they've played better on the road. I expect Arkansas to not only have a chance to win the game, but perhaps win the game this week at Auburn. So, but you got to play consistent, and they're not playing physical enough at the line of scrimmage, and that's problematic. Hey, with football season here, make sure you download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple Store or Google Play Store. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. It's really simple. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion. You get a second chance on your first bet each of your first 10 days, up to $100. You can use your debit and credit card to load your account. PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, ACH, on-site cash, easy to deposit and withdraw with Oaklawn Sports. Plus, you can find outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, game props, you name it, they've got it with Oaklawn Sports. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
So we've got plenty of clips from Sam Pittman, some players as well, including Jaquindon Jackson, Landon Jackson, who was very vocal, as you heard in our opening drives. Like, if we play like that, we're going to get the hell out of beat of us in the SEC. Here's the reality. I don't expect them to play like this against Auburn. I expect a good football game. Now, I'm not going to jump out on Monday and say they're going to win, but I expect them to play a hell of a lot better than what you saw Saturday in Fayetteville.
All right, next home game's Tennessee coming up in October. You can get tickets right now at ArkansasRazorbacks.com. That's ArkansasRazorbacks.com, and be there to experience some of the great tradition, also the great atmosphere, and one of the great scenes we saw a great crowd this weekend in Fayetteville. So get your tickets now for Arkansas and Tennessee. Do it online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
All right, when we return, again, more from Coach. I want to hear from you. What was the biggest takeaway from Saturday's win? You're now 2-1 through 3 games of the season. You're heading your first SEC matchup. How do you feel going to Jordan-Hare Stadium? We'll talk about that when we return on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
If you're the head coach, you'd want it to have the fan base at Arkansas every Saturday in the stands.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 190 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page for
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
This is the Morning Rush.
House here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rattiff for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
The Study basketball training has moved to the Hangout in Fort Smith. With basketball training classes from kindergarten through high school, there is a spot for your athlete. Depending on your skill set and training needs, the Study offers 3 class options: fundamentals, advanced, and 94 feet. You can also work on your explosiveness with Vertimax training or perfect your shot on the Dr. Dish machine. The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thestudyhoops.com for more details. Fitness, sports, and now the Study basketball training. Let's hang out.
Every morning in hardworking America, Hardee's biscuit makers rise to bake you Hardee's original made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits. Famous since 1977 and still baked fresh every 15 minutes. It's not the easy way, but it's the only way to make Hardee's breakfast so good. Like our mix-and-match handcrafted breakfast biscuits. Select items now 2 for $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
One of the keys to the game, if not the biggest one, was Addison Nichols going out with that ankle injury. It looked pretty bad. Here's Coach on, apparently it was an issue during the week, and unfortunately it showcased itself during that game.
He practiced probably individual on Monday, Tuesday a little bit of team, Wednesday a little bit of team, Thursday the whole day. We felt pretty good about him coming in as long as it didn't get rolled up again. Obviously it did, and those high ankles are harder to come back from, longer to come back from than low ankles. So we'll have to be smart with him, and we'll go back and see how Maury Wiggins played.
High ankle sprains, Tommy, are not fun. You just search it on like a hospital website, 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, that's why they changed the rule, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago on these horse collar tackles, because that's what leads to them is the sudden backwards, sideways, motion when you're jerked down from the collar down. And I remember Darren McFadden had one of those back in the day, and that it's after that they, started penalizing that. But that's why the hip drop tackle is another thing in the NFL they're trying to get rid of, because all those lower leg injuries come from that kind of motion.
I think it was Joe Mixon, Tommy, and during the game last night that suffered that, if I remember that, for Houston's running back correctly. So just an issue. I know that it happened. Hopefully he will get nursed back to health, but sounds like, Tommy, you're going to your first SEC game and maybe half your conference season with your backup center, which is not exactly a recipe for winning. There's a reason he's backup. And I hope there's not that much of a drop-off, but that is a little concern heading into this game on Saturday.
That's 2 linemen, 2 starting linemen.
That's correct, yeah. So 2 fits, 40
Toss and Mitchell.
40% of your starting offensive line not ready.
Saw a handful of low snaps, too, against UAB.
Yeah, like perfect example. Great point, Big C. The touchdown on 3rd and goal that Talon scored, it was at his knees. He almost bobbled it, grabbed it, and then took it to the house. Like, it's just,
no, that's right.
A little scary.
Well, those are things you take for granted. And we've seen, Arkansas has unfortunately had issues snapping the ball before, but that's part of the game you just take for granted. And, you think about the timing of all that, and you throw it off just a fraction of a second, it can disrupt everything in a play. The ball's got to hit the quarterback in the hands where he almost never even has to look at it. And he's certain of it, and he's confident in it.
Has to be all in one sequence. All right, let's get back to some more calls and texts. That is your Hog Update. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, let's go to Missouri where Kirby's waiting in Branson. Kirby, it's been a while, man. Good to hear from you.
Yes, it has, Ty. Good morning, guys. Ty, I've been following you since your first day on halftime with Phil. You're still doing a great job. But I want to remind Brian of 1981. I was working in Texas, and Brian's typical of Texas fans, just like Alabama fans. And in 1981, I was in the midst of so many Longhorn fans and A&M Aggie fans working on a powerhouse that they were building outside of Houston. And Texas came to town ranked number 1 in the country. And I think we run them out of town. We weren't ranked. And we beat them, I think, 41-11 or something like that, and sent them home with their tails dragging between their legs. Now, like I said, Brian is typical Texas fan. They're going to talk, and only way to shut them up is beat them. And I have no doubt that as the years go on,
I don't think so, Kirby. That's not. They'll have excuses. If Arkansas wins, they won't shut them up. They'll just come up in here with all these excuses as to why we won.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I remember the old Southwest Conference days. I go back a long ways, and I'm telling you, these Texas fans, they're arrogant.
Yep.
And I remember a story, a conversation between Don Meredith and Howard Cosell. And Howard asked, how does Texas have, such a good team every year? And back then, they were pretty good every year. And Don Meredith said, well, Howard, I tell you, there was a Texas high schools graduates 1 million high school kids every year, and Texas gets 90% of what they want out of that group. Now, we expect Texas, with their recruiting base, they should be, top 10 every year. But they haven't been that in several years. So now, if I may, I know I'm taking up a lot of time here, but I want to comment on our current team. I fully expect when we go to Auburn, we're going to see what this Razorback team is about. Up until now, we've got a pretty good look at them against Oklahoma State. I don't know what happened this last weekend. The quarterback was inconsistent with his passing, and interceptions have been a problem so far. If our quarterback can settle down, and then we're going to have a good season. And I'm not ready to give up on this team yet, but this is a must-win at Auburn and A&M. Those two games, we've got to win, or Sam's job will be in jeopardy for the end of the year. And I hate to lose this staff. It's a great staff, and I believe, given the time, they'll bring us up to where we expect to be.
Kirby,
thank you.
Appreciate your call. You've said it all offseason. Got to split Oklahoma State and Auburn.
Yep.
You got to win this one since you lost to Oklahoma State already.
Hey, I want to talk to all the purchasing agents, mill managers, maintenance managers. If you're an industrial electrician, hey, one of the nation's largest industrial power transmission inventories is located right here in our own backyard. It's In Stock Parts. It has a distribution warehouse right now in Fort Smith packed full of gear reducers, shaft couplings, electric motors, starters, variable frequency drives, bearings, belts, chains, and a whole lot more. In Stock Parts is located off Highway 45, right across from the cold storage. They offer in-house gearbox repair as well. That's In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource. If they don't have it, they'll find it for you. Go to InStockParts.com.
More of the Morning Rush when we return.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback and Super Bowl champion Brett Good, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye!
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action.
So Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at CartPathSocial.com. CartPath Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm the one that needs to talk now. I was thinking about something else here.
I usually, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I know. I hear them before, so I know how they do it. But like Chuck and Bo, occasionally one of them will intro, one of them will open. We basically have. Yeah. I intro it outside.
Well, this is always my segment. Yeah. I failed there. Delay a game.
Okay.
Craft. 5-yard penalty. Redo the segment.
Speaking of penalties, we are wearing the same shirt today, and it's not as.
Oh, we are. I just noticed. Yeah.
I looked at you when you walked in, and I kind of laughed because it's not like, you know, when women wear the same outfit.
I almost wore that shirt. That would have been 3 people.
That would have been really funny.
It's a work shirt. It's a station shirt.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're
no.
You know, like we'd been shopping at Dillard's at the
my
same rack.
My station attire is a collection of like 5 shirts. I mean, I wear the same 5 shirts every week, so we were bound for this to happen at some point. All right. So what is our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question after the delay of game? We're backed up.
All right.
First and 15.
Does Arkansas go on the road and win this week?
Oh, on a Monday.
Let's just go ahead and get right to it. Hot Take Monday. I want some hot takes up in here.
I don't think
Can you go on the road and win this week at Auburn?
Yeah.
Why?
I think
I don't disagree with you. I just want to hear why you think that.
I know. Well, Auburn's not a great team, but neither are we that we know right now. So it should be kind of even on that front. I think we're going to be mentally more prepared. I know this week of preparation is going to be a lot more. They're going to be a lot more focused this week, and you're going against a quarterback that's only had one start. You got 1 week. You got 1 game of film on him. That's a little worrisome, but I think you're going to see Taylon Green adjust to the blitz a little bit more this week, because I know Auburn's going to blitz him, and I just think they're going to play better. I really do.
I'm
a little worried about this offensive line deal, though.
Yeah, 40% of your starters aren't going to play on Saturday.
Well, but Kutos hadn't played at all this year, so to call him a starter is also probably not fair either.
Yeah,
he should be if he was healthy, but he hadn't started a game or played a snap all year.
I think when you look at this football game, I know people always, and I'm guilty of this. I am just as guilty, if not more guilty of this than any of our listeners. But you look at what happened last week and you say, well, this is going to happen this week because this happened last week. I don't think this past week is any indication of how they'll play on Saturday. I hope I'm right on that. I could be wrong. It could be a bloodbath in Auburn. But a lot of times you look at the line, Auburn, this is an even money game on a neutral side. You played this game, you're a 3-point favorite at home. Auburn's a 3-point favorite this weekend. I think it's going to be a really great football game.
I should save this question for later. Maybe I'll ask it again here. But repeat it. But part 2 follow-up question. Does the loser of this game make a bowl?
All right, Auburn still has to play Georgia. They still have to play Oklahoma. They still have to play Alabama, of course. They've got Missouri.
I mean, I hate to say this early in the year, this is for bowl eligibility, but you could sit here and certainly make the case, man, you lose this game, it makes getting to 6 wins very difficult.
Now, me personally, I remember where I picked preseason. I did not have Arkansas winning this game. In fact, I had them going 2-3 heading into Tennessee, and then I thought they would go on a 3-game win streak, beating both the Vols, LSU, and Mississippi State, if I remember that right. And then they'd win Louisiana Tech to get them to 6 wins. So I think there are true questions on this football team, like who's the second best pass catcher outside of Andrew Armstrong? Can you win if they stop the run? Jaquinda Jackson leads the SEC in touchdowns right now. I think you can win this game. I don't think this is like you're not going into the number 1 Alabama team. I mean, Auburn, I know they started Hank Brown last.
But the question is, the team that loses this game, can they still make a bowl? Can they still get to 6 and make a bowl?
I think yes on both accounts, but that margin sure. I mean that error, the room for error sure gets slim, Tommy. I mean you're. It's kind of like when you're in the trees in the rough.
Yeah, both teams obviously have 2 wins at this point. So for Auburn, Oklahoma, they're going to beat them at home?
Auburn is going to beat Oklahoma.
I'm
look good. Yeah.
No, they're
not going to beat Georgia. Missouri in Columbia? No. Kentucky at Lexington?
I don't know which Kentucky team's going to show up, the one on Saturday or the one that got drilled by South Carolina.
Let's just give them Kentucky. So get them to 3. Vanderbilt at home, probably. There's 4.
Okay. Monroe 5.
Yep. A&M?
Let's say A&M beats them, and Bama beats them. So that's 5 and 7.
So, pretty important game for Auburn, wouldn't you say?
I keep going back to that Cal game. Are we better than Cal? Are we as good as Cal? I think we can keep it close if they kept it close.
Yeah, new quarterback, though. I mean, with Peyton Thorne throwing 4 picks, they start Hank Brown this weekend. It's a different team. That's again, it's kind of a 2-parter.
Yeah, I think Arkansas, this is a huge gap. I think when you look at it, you can easily find maybe a couple wins you think to get to 5, but without this one, I think the loser of this game is going to have a hard time scratching a 6th win.
Yep.
I really do.
A good 2-parter question, your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Arkansas's number 1 indoor golf destination located right here in Lowell. Check them out at cartpasssocial.com. If you're looking for a great place to watch the game when you're not attending, like this weekend for Auburn, they're going to have it for you with tailgating stuff. You've got several different bays that you can book up. There's TVs everywhere. So if you need a place to watch the game this weekend, a fun place that you can bring your own food, bring your own beverages, it's not overly priced. Check them out at cartpasssocial.com. Cart Pass Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun. Now, we mentioned Andrew Armstrong a little bit, how he's been a bona fide SEC receiver. By the way, Tommy, he did hit his prop bet this weekend. We were wondering about that heading into Saturday. Did hit it. He's been awesome the first 2 games. And Sam Pittman said, really, he was the one that was keeping the offense together in that first and second half.
The guy that bailed us out 1,000 times is Armstrong. He bailed us out and really playing well. Happy with him as a man and the growth that he's had as a man. Playing extremely well, but I was really proud of him tonight. He kind of kept the team together as we were struggling a little bit.
So my hot take this offseason, when he's going to go over 1,000 yards. I'm really liking where he is through 3 games. I wish he would have played that first game. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened. Other hot take with this, you don't have a true number 2. Kind of thought it was going to be Tyrone Broden. Unfortunately, he hasn't been as consistent as I thought he would. Isaiah Satania's been here. He's been there. Lucas,
I think it's
another
Tesla.
guy. You think it's Tesla? Well, how many?
He's not getting a lot of catches, but man, those 2, he's getting behind the receivers. He's creating separation.
He drew 2 pass interferences in that game, Tommy, if I remember that right. Yep. But that's an issue right now. You know who your alpha running back is in Jaquinda Jackson, but there is a drop-off, whether it's Hill or Braylon Russell. You know who your alpha wide receiver is in Andrew Armstrong, but there's a clear drop-off on who the second-best pass catcher is.
Do they want it to be Broden?
I would think so. This is a guy that...
And here's why I asked that. 6 targets, no catches on Saturday.
Say that one more time.
6 targets.
Yeah.
6 targets in the game, no receptions. next, obviously Armstrong led the way with 13 targets. Satania with 3, Jaquindon Jackson with 1, Haas, Brown, Rodney Hill all had 1 target. 6 targets for Broden. No catches in the game. I think they want Broden to be the guy, but he's got to catch the ball.
Yeah. C.J. Brown dropped 1. Broden dropped 1. And Brown, he's a freshman. I like the kid a lot, but you could not have thrown a better pass if you're Taylon Green in that situation. And let me be clear. Taylon was off all game. He missed. So you mentioned Broden. One of those targets, Tommy, was an end zone touchdown. Just missed him by a country mile. Another pass to Andrew Armstrong. Armstrong could have cartwheeled in to the end zone. Taylon missed him by a country mile. There were issues, miscues throughout the game where Bobby got guys open, wide receivers got open, and Taylon just was off. That's the first time in 3 games that he's been as bad. Not that he hasn't missed receivers, i.e. Rodney Hill, second down, second overtime, but it hasn't been as bad and as numerous as what we saw on Saturday. And listen, we didn't hear from him in the post game, but I would guess, based on what I've heard from him, based on what I've seen from him, he's going to take a lot of accountability in that locker room.
And Sam was asked several times about the wind, and you could see the flags blowing, but he wasn't using wind as an excuse. I don't know. Quarterbacks will tell you wind is a harder thing on your game than rain or snow even. But Sam said he just thought he just continually kept coming back to, we were just off today.
Yep.
Just didn't have it today.
Now, Jaquindon Jackson had another marvelous game. He's been awesome. He's really taken the reins of that offense. He's slightly under 400 yards, 6 touchdowns on the year. And one of his roles is also to encourage his teammate and friend, Taylon Green, who, remember, a week ago or last week, he said, I think we got the best running back, quarterback duo in the country. Here's what he said, trying to calm Taylon down, who played a little better in the second half.
We just try to encourage him, like, hey, bro. Like, I'll walk up to him like, hey, breathe. Take a deep breath, breathe, play football. This is what you do. Just play football. I just kept telling him to breathe the whole game because I feel like he was uptight at first, so I'm, hey, breathe. Take a deep breath, sit back. Come on, let's play football.
I think the question you have to ask yourself at 9:50 here on Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush, is that the Taylon we see in SEC play, or are we going to see the Taylon Green that we saw in Stillwater, Oklahoma, which was, I think, a better defense? I don't have the numbers in front of me to compare UAB and Oklahoma State. But what Taylon Green are we going to see in his first SEC matchup? Again, it's not a ranked opponent. Auburn's not the cream of the crop in this league, but it's still the Southeastern Conference. I heard Stephen Dix after the game talk about one of the reasons I came over from, I can't remember if he was Jacksonville State or Marshall, to play SEC football. And now he has that opportunity. Tommy, what's Taylon Green are we going to see on Saturday? I think not just Saturday, but the rest of conference season.
That's a fair question with what we've seen and the lack of consistency so far. If we see the Taylon Green we saw this past Saturday, Arkansas will lose, and it probably won't be very close in the final measure. Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Top brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley Model Zs. They're bringing the Brinkleys to Fort Smith. We'll be telling you more about that in early 2025. And you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You remember the movie Necessary Roughness? I'm forgetting the main actor in that movie, but
JT on?
Yeah,
in there?
JT in Hot Springs says Broden is becoming like Stonehands in the movie Necessary Roughness. Now, if you go back, Tyrone Broden's the one that caught that game-winning touchdown in Gainesville, Florida last year, and it was a dart that KJ Jefferson threw. And I, like you, think that he was expected to take that next jump, and that's what they're wanting. But if it's not working and they're still targeting him and he's unfortunately not taking the most of his opportunity, and again, it's not all on him. Taylon did not have a good day throwing the football. Where do you go? Where's your second option if you're throwing the football around the yard? Like, I think they only threw it. I think there was 3 pass catchers that caught balls. Andrew, of course, caught the lion's share of them. But that is something that is a pretty big concern if you're Bobby Petrino heading into your first SEC action this weekend in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Hey, looking forward to being at Pinnacle Country Club tomorrow night for the Night of Hope with John Calipari. He's going to be the featured speaker as it all benefits Team Luke and Hope for Minds. Last-minute tickets and opportunities to be in this special event at Pinnacle Country Club tomorrow night are available today only. So go to teamlukehopeforminds.org, teamlukehopeforminds.org. I was looking at some of the auction items they have online already. Some really neat trips. A trip to Italy is available on there, a trip to Costa Rica. There's autographed Razorback memorabilia. There's stuff that's Razorback basketball experiences. This will be a very neat evening. An evening with John Calipari tomorrow night. Pinnacle Country Club. Get your tickets, teamlukehopeforminds.org.
Hour 2 of the Morning Rush coming up next.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of Exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
End-of-season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's BV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers' low pricing and great interest rates from Kubota, it's time for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Did your 6 weeks with your kids this summer fly by? Is your ex on another tropical vacation while you're working 2 jobs to pay your child support? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Arkansas law on custody and child support has changed, and those changes could benefit you. So stop scrolling through her vacation pictures and protect your rights today. Call me at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your Honor,
My son deserves this kid.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, mostly cloudy sky, a 50-50 chance of seeing some showers. Our high this afternoon in the mid to upper 70s. Later on tonight, we should see a partly cloudy sky, overnight low in the low to mid 60s. Returning to sunshine tomorrow, high temperatures mid 80s, and then for Wednesday, lots of sunshine, a high upper 80s to near 90. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Green takes a knee, and that's going to do it. The Razorbacks have had to battle today. They survive. They beat UAB 37-27, and as Sam Pittman heads to midfield, his football team is 2-1.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
and Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about them Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. Big C, Sasquatch, is listening to Mountain Home this morning. He's a big Saints fan. He just wanted to wish you a good morning
Saints
after yesterday's
Saints may win the
shellacking.
Super Bowl.
Oh.
Alvin Kamara, 4 touchdowns yesterday. He was pretty special.
Played some golf yesterday at Paradise Valley. Then we went over to Sassy's to eat. Cowboys were on, and I knew it was going to be a long day for all you Cowboy fans out there, as that one never got out of the gate well. And Saints with a big win. Sassy's was awesome. Had the brisket platter, couple good sides to go with that. Had their mac and cheese and the okra to go with it. It was good. One of my buddies had the catfish. Said it was awesome. So if you're looking for a place to watch games on the weekend, Sassy's is the spot, the original bread house on North College, and then just off Steamboat Drive, or on Steamboat Drive, just off the Weddington exit in Fayetteville. Get all your Razorbacks and everything you need for tailgating is available as well at Sassy's. That's Sassy's original bread house on North College, and Sassy's just off the Weddington exit in Fayetteville. It's Hot Take Monday, brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Our buddies Lee J and Chris can always get you going. Plus, they got a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. That's Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
All right, back to the phones we go, where Brent is called in from Searcy this morning. Brent, it's hour 2.
All right, Ty and Tommy, how are you guys doing today?
Good, man.
Fine, man.
I just want one thing from this Razorback football team. I want one thing. I want them to come out and play hard. I want them. I mean, they come out lackadaisical Saturday. We're starting out 17-3 down. We're not a good enough football team to just go through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say? And that goes directly to our head coach. He needs to make sure that our team is ready to play. End of discussion.
Yeah, I don't think Sherlock Holmes could figure out the mystery of why Arkansas plays bad at home. I really don't. I don't understand it. And again, we have to say what we heard Chuck just say. They won the game. They won it by 10. I know they didn't cover, but they won the game. But it is a, I don't know if it's an unsolvable mystery, Tommy, but it doesn't make any sense. You know how sometimes something happens in life and you can say, well, this happened. And, no, I'll say this. Between Travis Williams having a kid this week, and I'm not putting blame on Coach Williams. I'm just pointing out an example, and 5 or 6 guys being injury jerseys, those were points, but that you can reasonably say, okay, maybe this is why. But
what you're asking is, are these excuses or are these reasons?
But you couple that with previous history. It's one thing if it's one game or 2, but it's been the last 2 years, 3 years that this has been an issue. That's why fans are frustrated here this morning.
There's a trend. There's more than a trend. There's a track record with not playing well at home.
Frustrated in victory, which is not.
And yeah, I mean, to a degree, a victory felt like a loss because of the way you fell behind 17-3. But give this team credit for fighting out of that hole.
Yeah,
there are teams not the too far distant past that would have let go of the rope and just quit and lost.
Could be Billy Napier this morning.
No, I mean, so
could be Zach Taylor.
In the end. Could be, Mike Norvell. So
another one.
In the end, you're probably one less win than you feel like you should have. You've gotten 2. You should have 3. But you can make up for it this weekend. A road win at Auburn, I think, gets you right on track with nobody in their right mind wouldn't have said, hey, we'll give you 3-1 out of the gate in the first month.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in their right mind wouldn't have taken 3-1 in the first 4 games.
100%. That everyone forgets.
Go win Saturday and you're right on pace.
Everyone forgets the UAB outcome and score if you win against Auburn this week, and that's college football in a nutshell.
Again, that was a win. Do you forget the OSU outcome and the way that went down if you win this week? That's really.
I think what you and I'll agree with you. Even though that Auburn isn't ranked and OSU was, it's still an SEC opponent. There's not a lot of people that go to Jordan Air Stadium and win football games. And if you could do it this upcoming weekend, that's a bigger deal than winning in Boone Pickens. As good as they've been in Stillwater lately, you still take the other win, which is this weekend. Let's talk to Cecil, who's phoned in this morning. Cecil, you're on the Morning Rush. Go ahead.
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Hey, a win is a win, and this is how I see it. Most of those guys are first-time players. They playing together. It's going to take a little time. We won the game. And I mean, if we would have won by 100, we would have won by 100. But we won by 10 points. It didn't cover what Vegas said, but it's okay. It's just going to take some time. I think the thing about that game is, Trent Gifford is a Super Bowl. He's been in the Super Bowl 1 or 2 times, NFL quarterback. He knows the game. Hey, Alabama Birmingham was no slouch. I think they'll do good in the USA Conference. If I'm not mistaken, that's the conference they're in. But it's just going to take some time. You play a hard game, a tune-up game, a hard game, a tune-up game. And by the time we get to the really tough games, I think we'll be all right. I still think we're going to be all right. Like I say, I'm a diehard, but I'm not panicking because we do have a really good football team. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, Cecil, you cited, again, all these new players. What, 39, Tommy? I think that's the number between high school and transfer. Now, that's not just an Arkansas thing. That's across college football. You see numbers like that, but they're still figuring out. For example, I'll give you one. I really like what I saw from Steven Dix on Saturday. 10 tackles. It was the best game he's played all season. He's one of your linebacker transfers, and he knows that, it's one thing to play in Razorback Stadium. It's another thing when they go to Auburn, Alabama this next week. I'll go back to what Landon Jackson said. This is what Landon Jackson, who is about as honest as it gets when it comes to what happened this past Saturday.
When you go slow in practice, it's going to lead to a slow game. Not a good game at all, to be honest. Any team in the SEC is going to beat the hell out of us if we play like that. So we need to find a way to clean up those mistakes and play a lot more physical. We didn't play our brand of football today, and we came out with the win, so that's always good. But at the same time, we got a lot to clean up.
This wasn't a group of kids that performed on Saturday and they're like, oh, we can do the same thing and win next week. They know that if they play like that, they're going to get whooped against Auburn. Now, that doesn't necessarily...
Colorado, who thinks they can do anything.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily condone on how poorly they played in a win. And I have to keep saying in a win because they did win on Saturday. But they're understandable the different level of competition that awaits them on the road against another Alabama school this week. So you go back and forth like, yes, they won, but there's issues and stuff. I'm just telling you, they're not going to play like that in Auburn, Alabama next week. Now, I'm not going to, again, I don't know if they're going to win, but it's not going to be putrid like it was at points on Saturday. I just don't believe that. I think you're going to have a really good game ahead of you. By the way, that time of that game is at 2:30. They announced that yesterday. I think we'll get the A&M game time later on, maybe this hour, maybe right during halftime. But that is the setup for what awaits you on Saturday in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Yeah, and never just an easy place to go win. Hey, this hour brought to you by Sawyer's. We'll tell you more about that coming up and how you can get a sunroom in your home and many other things. We'll do that in just a bit. Wanted to also let you know about our friends at West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services. They've been taking care of water, sewer, gas, and grease lines since 1993. Clogged drains, water heaters that are on the fritz. Maybe you've got busted pipes that just aren't acting right. West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services can fix those for you. Put this number in your phone because you never know when you're going to need the plumber. 479-646-5151. 646-5151 for West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Services.
Brad and that team are the ones that are helping me with the pool house, Tommy. So that has been it. Listen, thank God they're doing it because Lord knows if I was trying to do something with that, it would be a bust. All right, more of the Morning Rush coming up. We got your SEC update. What happened in the conference this weekend?
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hey, guys, enjoy your show. Out of all the sports programs in the state, I really enjoy y'all's most.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the Road Hogs have the hot calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, the savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
$11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to $7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
This is Northside head football coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time to participating restaurants.
Did you know that almost 80% of all advertising is spent on digital? This is Dale Daniels, Digital Sales Manager for ESPN Arkansas, and due to the growth in digital advertising, we have the opportunity for the right person to join our team. Digital and radio advertising go hand in hand, and we're looking for someone to help businesses grow with this powerful combination. If you have experience in broadcast and digital marketing or business development, we want to hear from you. Email your resume to sales@hitthatline.com. Pearson Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
It did not go well for the Florida Gators in the Swamp this Saturday against the Texas A&M Aggies. It ended up being a closer game than it originally started. Billy Napier gets asked after the game, "Hey, Coach, how you doing with the boos on Saturday?"
Really getting booed is part of the job, but I was pretty loud and pretty intense at the end of the first half. And again, leaving the field, what's that feel like for you? And do you think you deserved a chance to get this thing turned around?
Well, I don't blame. I have no excuse, and I have no negative comment about that. I mean, ultimately, when you play a certain way in this arena, you're going to be criticized, right? So this is one of those places where there's history and tradition and expectations. There's been a lot of really good football teams that played in that stadium in the past. When you play ugly ball, and maybe it doesn't look quite like we all want it to, then hey, it comes with the territory. So I probably would have done the same thing, truth be known.
No chance he makes it through the season, right? I mean, there's no way that he retains his job, first off, after this year, but does he even retain it through the remaining 9 games?
He'll have to beat some teams he's not supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously winning can lessen them, but I think they're probably already trying to figure out how to get the money together. They played Mississippi State this weekend, then a bye. Then it's Central Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, bye before Georgia. I always think the bye weeks are where you make the change. I need to look and see exactly who all is on Florida's staff that you could elevate to run the program, because it's one thing to fire him. Who do you got left now to take the bull by the horns and run it for the rest of the season?
Bo said it this morning.
It could get worse.
You know who it might be?
Jim Tebow.
No, on staff. You know who it might be?
No, I didn't.
Dan Enos.
No way.
He's an analyst right now.
They're not going to elevate an analyst to interim head coach. No.
Yes.
They're not going to elevate an analyst to interim head coach.
So what's
going to be one of your coordinators?
Technically,
look at that.
Like John L. was the interim.
I'm just saying, look at the bye weeks.
No, if they lose to Mississippi State and Starkville, who got demolished by Toledo this weekend, he will be relieved of his duties in Gainesville.
And that would be a good spot to do it, because then you come home the next week, October 3rd, for Central Florida. Now, Gus Malzahn's team won't be.
How are they doing?
That'll be the nail.
How are they doing, by the way? I haven't seen.
They had to come back. They played TCU this weekend.
KJ led them on a game-winning drive.
Yeah,
did they? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've not paid much attention to that. So
some of that.
Toledo goes into Starkville, wins 41-17. That is conference-wise. That's the most winnable game on your conference schedule in Starkville on October the 26th. You should win that football game. Auburn, your opponent this weekend, wins 45-19. How about the ending of that LSU game, though, Tommy? South Carolina with I think it was 49-yard field goal to tie it at the tail end. It misses wide left after he initially missed the first one wide right, but a timeout was called. South Carolina had similar to Arkansas and Stillwater, had every chance to win that game and couldn't get it done.
Penalties. Yeah, you go and you blow up the quarterback on a pick six. What are you doing? Just beat yourself there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just absolutely just an ignorant penalty that cost you the ball game.
Other SEC scores: Vanderbilt's Bulldogs come to a crashing end as they lose to Georgia State 36-32. They're 2-1, but I can't see them getting 4 more wins. Ole Miss goes to Wake Forest. Winston-Salem wins 46. Oklahoma, this score's a little larger than it was made out to be. It was 34-19 against Tulane. I was closer. I mentioned the Texas A&M score.
Watched some of that.
Good game between Missouri and Boston College. I thought Missouri would steamroll.
They had to score late to win.
They did. Yeah. Brady Cook.
27-21?
Yep. Brady Cook late. And then final score of the weekend. This was a game that my parents were at. Alabama just mauls Wisconsin 42-10. I think Milroe had 4 or 5 total touchdowns on the day. I thought there'd be and again, it's Wisconsin. Fickle's still trying to figure stuff up. And Madison, that game at the end of this month between Georgia and Alabama in Tuscaloosa is going to be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be electric. This weekend we have Oklahoma and Tennessee. Heupel going back home to a place he was fired. I mean, there are some fun college football games ahead these next few weeks.
How much do you think Bama will be favored by against Georgia? I think they look better than
Georgia. You think Bama will be favored?
Maybe by a slim margin.
I think Georgia's like a 2-point favorite, a 3-point favorite in that one on the road.
All right, that's your SEC updates brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. They're winding down summer with savings here at the end of the season. Right now, you can save big up to $14,000 off on fiberglass pools. If you're one of the first 10 customers who purchase an Aqua Creep pool with premium vinyl finish, you'll get a free hot tub to go along with it as well. Hey, don't miss these incredible deals at Burton Pools and Spas, Fort Smith, Springdale, and now in Greenland as well, or go to burtonpools.com for more details.
Bruce in Nashville with the text I want to jump into. Mississippi State and Louisiana Tech are the only 2 winnable games on the Hogs schedule, and I'm assuming he's basing that thought process on what he saw this weekend.
Did you not just mention how you said Mississippi State and La Tech?
Yeah, so he believes that those are the only 2 games remaining.
So he doesn't think
winnable.
Auburn's winnable.
So all these games are going to be blowouts. All the other ones, I don't.
He didn't say that.
He believes those. You can win this game this weekend.
And when you say not winnable, I could see how you would infer it from that.
Yeah, you can win the game in Arlington, and then you'll have a better basis on what they can do at the likes of Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and Texas. The 4 and Missouri, need to add them in, are the 4 or 5 premier teams on your schedule. But this idea that Auburn's not winnable just because of what they did against UAB, I think it's a little ludicrous. I think
we play better on the road. That's pretty clear.
Yes, Derek. The point Derek made, we were joking about in the Hog Reaction. It's like, well, they're on the road this weekend, so that you just assume they're going to play better because of where it is. Now, if you win this weekend, we'll see what happens in Jerry World. Like, you want people to come to that Tennessee game. First conference game of the season, first weekend of October. It's going to be a little chillier. You got to give fans a reason to come attend that game. And you can do that.
They did this past weekend without a lot of reason.
First home game, but yeah, no, you got to give.
But I hear what you're saying.
Got to give fans credit for showing up because again, most fans in a non-conference game since 2006, or maybe it tied with 2006, whatever it was.
Hey, your home's your biggest asset. If you've made the decision or you want to have the conversation about adding a sunroom, go talk to our buddy Buzz Sawyer at Sawyer Sunrooms. They don't just do sunrooms. That's a big part of their business, but patio covers, they can replace your driveway. They can take care of new windows if you need those as well. They're the company you can trust with basically anything that goes on or around your home. And they've been doing this for more than 30 years. Buzz is insured, he's licensed, and he's, more than anything, has 100% financing available, and he's very, very trustworthy as well. He's been part of our community for a long time. In fact, if you've watched Fort Smith Northside athletic events online for the last several years, Buzz is the one that calls the action for that. Sawyer's is at 8605 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. You can find them online at sawyers-sunrooms.com. Commercial and residential products. They do lifetime products and lifetime warranties as well with quality workmanship. That's Sawyer's, 8605 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith, and online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Earlier in the program, you mentioned the outcome of Florida State and Memphis. Tommy, they fall again this week, and their season's over. I mean, you're 3 games in, and it's done for the Seminoles, which if you're Mike Norvell coming off of what they did last year, undefeated regular season, and then to do what they've done it's inexplicable. Don't understand it.
Yeah. Hey, the guys had a great time last week. They were up in north central Arkansas and stayed at Gaston's for a night. If you're looking for a great getaway, you mentioned that fall weather. You know, Gaston's isn't really that far from campus, either a couple hours over, or maybe for one of these road weekends, you choose Gaston's as the place to maybe bunker up and watch some college football, do some fishing for the weekend. Gaston's is the perfect spot. 870-431-5202 is their number. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
This is Dave Hill with ESPN. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in touchdown, Arkansas. It's summer clearance sale time.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor.
Us 5 stars to help us get our content out to the rest of the Razorback family. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm glad that Jaquindon Jackson highlight just played there because I want to talk about the running game. Arkansas, once again, looks solid in that area. Sam Pittman had some comments, not just about the overall running game, but Jaquindon Jackson, and touched on Braylon Russell a little bit as well. Let's dive into that as we continue on here in a Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush.
Well, our old buddy, the Fence Man's back at it again this week. If you need a fence gate, powered automatic gates, industrial, commercial, residential, they can do everything involving fencing and gates for your home or business. So if you need a better look or more curb appeal and more security around your home or business, give them a call. 782-3936 is the number. They do custom projects with no problem. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Let's start with what Coach said at first. Hey, we got bailed out.
We came out and played extremely slow in the first half. Couldn't throw and catch it. It was 3 for 14. We got bailed out a little bit because we could run the ball. We had 250, 60 yards again. That's bailing us out, but we couldn't throw it.
Tommy, you have one of the best rushing attacks in all of college football. The passing is nowhere near that. You're never going to be perfect in every statistical category. We know that. But for Arkansas ranking top 15 in total offense and rushing, they've got number 1 in third down conversions, which, by the way, there were 7 of 12 in that game as well. There are some positives that you've seen through 3 weeks. I'll go back to last year. Let's talk about the first couple games last year. The fan level of discontent was coming from, you can't run the football. And now it's shifted to, well, I don't know if you could pass. And I don't think either of those are not warranted. Last year, you couldn't run the football. This year, you pass well. If you go back to that Oklahoma State game, they had 600-plus total yards, but it's not as consistent necessarily as your running game. I think you just wonder, Tommy, if they stone the run this weekend and in weekends to come in SEC play, do you have a potent enough passing attack to keep the defenses honest?
Particularly against one that can stop the run and still play you man, can stop you and tackle the catch in zone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see if Auburn is able to do that. And I think what we want to know more than anything, particularly with the concern with a backup center apparently going to possibly go there, with Addison Nichols having the high ankle sprain,
mm-hmm.
is, are you going to be able to run the ball on Auburn at all? When you get into this better competition and you're playing Tennessee and LSU, who now looks beatable, and you were mentioning last week they might be the most winnable home conference game. When you get into playing, the mid to upper crust of the SEC, are you going to be able to win some of these games? And I should mention A&M with those two, because A&M doesn't look like a pushover, particularly on defense by any stretch.
Yeah, Elko brings over that defensive mentality. I think it was Marcel Reed, their quarterback, that played for an injured Carter Wigman this weekend. I believe that's correct. I'm curious to see if they stick with him or they go back to Wigman. I believe that's what happened in Gainesville this weekend. For Auburn, though, and I brought this up earlier, who the starting quarterback is. I know we've got an occasional text or two that they want to see Malachi Singleton. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Who your starting running back is, and the alpha in that room, Jaquindon Jackson. It's Andrew Armstrong catching balls, but there's a major drop-off after really, in my opinion, all three positions. And I think it's also a little, I mean, Tommy, how many times has Taylor's rushed for nearly, 60 times in 3 games? And he hasn't, it doesn't look like he's gotten dinged up or banged up at all. But that's a little like, I'm not trying to pull scary situations out of thin air, but when your starting quarterback is taking as many hits as he has through 3 games and you're seeing other guys go down, again, I'm not wishing this upon it, but it is a little, it's in the back of my head. This guy's taking a lot of shots through 3 weeks of the college football season.
35 in the last 2, and let's see. Only eight the week before.
Okay, so 40 him. Plus.
40 plus.
I jumped over jumped
18,
that.
17, and
40,
8.
40 plus.
Yep.
So that was a way of a stretch on my part. My apologies. But 40 plus rushes through 3 games. He's your second leading rusher. That's, again, it's not a concern, but it's in the back of my head, Christian, that he's taken that many hits through 3 games.
Yeah, it's a little concerning, but we needed his legs against UAB because he wasn't passing the ball great. And you can always count on a guy to make plays with his legs like Taylor Green. So, I get what you're saying, but if he didn't carry the ball as many times, we may not have won that game.
No, he's also what keeps the defense honest to a degree. He's also the reason why you can't just start blitzing all the time because he can run right by the blitz and make you pay. With not just because you're talking about explosive offensive rushing plays and how they're one of the top teams in the country. Mm-hmm. That's where it's at. Now, as you get into your SEC games, finally, these stats are going to really, the truth is going to start coming out, and these averages are going to come down.
Yeah, they will.
But he is the reason you have to kind of play a little more honest and can't just send the house after him because if he gets by you, nobody's going to catch him.
Mm-hmm. Does the offense feel limited? Right? Do you feel like you have enough of a passing attack through 3 games that it will be a positive in SEC play and I don't think they're necessarily just going to blitz him all the time, but he's going to get spied.
Nope. No. Because who you brought this up earlier. Who's your number 2 wide receiver? Armstrong's clearly number 1. Yeah. You get past him, they had 6 targets to Broden. Now, some of this, Green's got to clean up with a more accurate pass, but they're still struggling to figure out who the number 2 guy is in catching the football.
Do we go to Hasmore this week against Auburn, Luke?
Yeah, and that's a good point. I've always wondered, like, when a guy doesn't get any or many targets in one game, and listen, fans...
Luke had 1 target in this last game.
Fans' perception doesn't change what Bobby Petrino tries to implement or do in his offense, but is that something they look to more in this game this upcoming week? What do you think? 877-377-6963. I mentioned the drop-off a little bit. You mentioned the 1 target. Braylon Russell only got 1 carry during this football game, that touchdown he got in the red zone. Listen to your football coach and what he had to say about that after the game.
I didn't mean get him in early and not play him again, but he did go in there and score a touchdown. The package that we had, when you call the package, he's in that package. That's telling you right there that we have a lot of confidence in him. We did not get him, I don't believe, any more reps than that, but we need to continue to work him in.
So is that a Colby Smith running backs coach issue? Is that a Bobby Petrino issue? I mean, what I heard there, you can disagree with me, is similar to what I heard last season when occasionally talking about Enos' offense is like we're doing this stuff in practice, but it's not translating to games or it's not going into games. What I heard there, and it was a message after last week's game, it's like we got to play this kid. Yeah. And then he gets one.
And not just wait for mop-up duty.
Yeah.
Play him in significant snaps early or more meaningful snaps. Maybe not significant's not the right word, but in a meaningful part of the game so that if you need to put him in late, you don't feel like he doesn't have the experience.
And I'm not trying to pull strife out of something that might not be there, but that's what I heard when it comes to the head coach talking about the running back.
I think sometimes all that just gets lost you can't see the forest for the trees, or it just gets lost in the mix. The flow of the game's going, and you don't realize, hey, this guy's only had 1 carry. This guy's only had 1 target. I don't think anyone's over there with tally marks keeping up with participation levels of the game. And I don't know that you necessarily manage by that. You go with what works, and probably ahead of that, you go with what you trust if you're Bobby Petrino or Sam Pittman. Hey, farming and ranching is a lifestyle like no other, and it's good to know that Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has been there to help you get through the good times and the tough times as well. Log on to myaglender.com or drop by any of their 25 local offices for the assistance you need from sunrise to sunset with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
Now, I've seen this a little bit. We saw it in Hog Reaction. We took a call. I'm forgetting the source, Tommy, but Dustin messages us on YouTube this morning, which you can always watch us and listen to us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X as well. He says that for me, I think the offense would be more dynamic with Malachi Singleton as quarterback. Not saying Green is bad, but I still think Malachi has a better skill set to run and pass and make that a little more dynamic. I don't understand that text. Can you enlighten me that thought?
I don't know how you would come to that conclusion with the limited amount we have seen from Malachi Singleton, but here's what I also say. You can't out of one side of your mouth say Bobby Petrino's the best offensive coordinator, best play caller, knows more about football than anyone. You know, and that's kind of the general consensus of a lot of fans, right? And then on the other hand, he's playing the wrong quarterback.
Wrong quarterback, yeah.
Now, you can't have it both ways. If you think Petrino's an offensive genius, and you know, listen, he has clearly elevated this offense. You can't say on one hand Petrino's doing a great job, but he's playing with the wrong quarterback. I can't put those two together.
Talon gives you the best chance to win. I don't think it's close. Maybe that gap is closer than my opinion, but that's just where I stand on that matter.
You think Bobby would play the better of the two quarterbacks? I do.
think so. I don't understand
but he hand-selected Talon Green to come in here for a reason.
Yeah. Tommy, who won? And you follow high school. The Elkins-Warren game.
Elkins. Big.
Okay, we were talking about that last week with our buddy Brad Caldwell. That's where Scott has phoned in this morning. Scott, you're on the Morning Rush, man. What you got for us?
Hey guys, I got a question about Tesla. Where is he hurt? What's happened to him? Because he was so phenomenal at times early last year, and he's done a few things this year, but I didn't hear his name called at all on Saturday.
He got a couple PI calls for him because he would get by the defender. He's had a couple third down conversions too. I think, and I'm forgetting, I guess Isaiah technically took his position because I think he played in the slot last year and he's still getting some time. He's just not starting anymore, Scott. And he's made a play or two, but his issue last year, if you watch those games, he couldn't get open against SEC competition, or it wasn't as frequent. I don't know if another year in the SEC has helped him in that, but he has not been starting at least through 3 games.
He had no targets this past weekend. He had 1 target against Oklahoma State. 1 catch, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's kind of the issue there. All right, let's talk to Robert in Fort Smith. Robert, you're on the Morning Rush. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, if anyone listened to Phil Steele earlier in the year and Feinbaum, they both said that our quarterback was going to throw a lot of interceptions, but he can also be explosive. So, I mean, until he learns Petrino's system, he's going to be the way he is. And my biggest problem from Saturday is that defensive line. I mean, that's no secret.
Mm-hmm.
That was horrible. And y'all know that. So until he learns Bobby's system and gets it down good, and that's a timing thing, it may be a while. So, it is what it is. And y'all have a good one, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, let's talk about some inconsistencies through the first 3 games. We could talk about positives, too. Negative-wise, you're 99th in turnover margin. You have only 5 sacks through 3 games. Now I'll give the defensive line credit. You are top 20 in third down conversion rate on the defensive side. So you got the number 1 team in the country on the offensive side. Your defense is in the top 20 percentile on not allowing opponents to convert for first downs. You have a pretty good rushing defense, but passing-wise, first off, you don't have a great back end to begin with. And second off, you're not getting pressure with 4 guys. Landon hasn't necessarily gotten home like people were hoping he would through the first 3 games. You don't have that defensive, just nightmare in that front 4. That's an issue. And it's going to continue to plague this team that it will become a loss, essentially, when you're not hitting the opposing quarterback and he has all day to throw. Now, I think maybe part of that, Tommy, is because they hadn't been like Hank Brown this weekend. I would expect Travis Williams to come after that kid. He's a redshirt freshman. It's his first SEC action, his 2nd career start against the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm going to guess T. Will's going to call the dogs on him. Call the hogs, I guess, in this sake. But I could be wrong.
I think why would you not attack and go after a young quarterback? That's exactly what they should expect and exactly what I think Arkansas will do. My bigger concern in this game is Hugh Freeze and his ability to find ways to carve up what's been a defense that's been worrisome through the passing game at times.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk about that defensive line, and Robert called a second ago, and that's right. You're not getting pressure. Not getting pressure with a secondary that's allowed some things. Hudson Clark appears like he's not going to play again this week from what Coach said after the game. And
yeah,
I've got some real worries about how many points Auburn may score. So how many points will your offense have to score in order to get there? This might be a game, Ty, where if Arkansas's defense can be the one to get 2, maybe 3 picks, and I know that's a lot, but that's the kind of game this could be, where you could have, would you say combined 5 or 6 picks between the two teams is possible? Young quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you could lead the way there and win the battlefield position and flip some things, you're probably going to be the team that wins.
Yeah, and for Coach Williams, for those who don't know, he just had his kid last week. And Coach Pittman, again, you can say this is an excuse, you could say it's a reason, but maybe that played a factor in the defense this past week.
I thought defensively we did not, and for the reasons T-Well, thank the Lord, as Janine had the baby, but there were some distractions there with him, and that's wonderful. He needs to go see his baby and his wife and all those things. And we may have played the same if he had been there all the time.
And the other issue, Tommy, that Coach brought up was and I'm forgetting the number of those 5 or 6 guys on the defensive side in green jerseys. They didn't play as physical in practice this last week compared to the previous week gearing up for Oklahoma State. So those 2 components seem to really hurt the defense, I would say, leading up to this game. Again, I'm not condoning that they allowed what they did in the first half against UAB, but that's what happened.
How dare he have a baby? Couldn't you push that off till maybe basketball season? What are you thinking?
What did Chuck say this morning? Have the baby in the bye. And again, there's a lot of tongue in cheek. He's being sarcastic, but couldn't you have the baby in the bye week, Coach? Like classic fan response in a situation like this. I think like there's this defense is what we kind of thought it might be, like middle of the pack ish. They're gonna have games like they did this past weekend where they don't look that great, and then they'll have a game. Again, people want to just look at the final score against Oklahoma State. Your defense played great for 50 minutes of that football game, and then they gave up points at the end when the offense did not give them any help whatsoever. I don't think that Travis Williams is going to give up 48 points to his alma mater like he did last year. In fact, I think he's probably pretty ticked off of what happened in Fayetteville. I'm going to guess most of the defense, the returnees that were here last year, like Landon Jackson, are pretty ticked off of what happened in Fayetteville in your home field last season. I don't expect this to be a high offensive output game either way from both sides heading into this weekend.
But you look, Alabama won going away. Ole Miss won against Wake Forest going away 40-6. Texas beats UT San Antonio 56-7. Other than that, there was a lot of tight games. I mean, Vanderbilt loses to Georgia State. Texas A&M, they probably thought they were going to beat Florida by more than 13. Oklahoma over Tulane's 34-19. It was a lot closer than that in the second half. Missouri had to pull out some magic to beat Boston College 27-21. I promise you, LSU didn't plan to play South Carolina to a 3-point game. So you just look around this league. Arkansas won by 10 after digging out of a 14-point hole. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of games this weekend across the league and across the country on what was kind of a lackluster weekend, honestly, in college football that were probably a lot closer than you expected. Probably a lot of underdogs cash tickets over the weekend would be what I guess.
How are you feeling about a close football game if Ramsey's put in a situation after 2 or 3? He's still just kind of like on top.
I feel a little better.
A little better? I think that's how some. He kicked a 51-yarder, but he also, it's 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Hey, work now and pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select new Holland equipment right now. Here are your options. 0 for 60 months or up to $10,000 cash back, plus a free net wrap round roll baler from WT Equipment. Take 0 for 72 months or up to $10,000 in cash back on mid-range tractors. 0 for 72 months plus an additional $2,000 cash back on a new compact tractor. Hey, work smarter, no money down, No interest and no payments on your choice of the summer's best equipment. At WT Equipment, they are your partner in progress.
Coach Pittman also spoke to this team's, I would say, inability thus far to really put the game away. Even in the fourth quarter, you had a chance to maybe go up by another touchdown. You end up winning by 10, but listen to Coach here.
Well, we're not doing a great job right now is when we had the opportunity to go up 2 scores, and we're not doing it. We did there towards the end of the game, but, man, we had the ball a lot against Oklahoma State, and we didn't get to 2 scores and missed field goal. Today was the same way. We could really start putting people away. We just not, especially when we could get a 2-score lead, and we're not doing it right now. We got to get better at that, and we're taking sacks or getting sacks, however you want to look at it. It's a sack, and getting out of field goal range, making the field goal kicker work a little bit harder.
That tail end right there, I think, is an important part of that quote. One, it's true. They haven't. They didn't in Stillwater. You had a chance to widen the margin a little bit in Fayetteville. You have a good run blocking team. Pass blocking, though, is suspect. And I think that's pretty obvious in some of the, not decisions, but some of the situations that Taylor Green has found himself in. Some he's made for himself when he's rolled out of the pocket maybe a little too early. And others, he has just been pursued pretty heavily by some opposing defenders. And again, maybe Auburn is not the best barometer of an SEC defense, some of which you'll have to play this season, but it is your first one. And Tommy, if he's under pressure, we mentioned earlier, Addison Nichols, not going to play this weekend unless something crazy happens. I mean, typically a high ankle sprain's 4 to 6 weeks. He gutted it out this week, at least a little bit. Credit to him there. But that's where you start this weekend in a tough road environment in Auburn, Alabama. So your offensive line. Well,
let's see. There's things they can do. They don't want to worsen that injury, but let's let Coach speak later today and then Monday, or then again in the teleconference, and kind of see where we're at. And hey, with this game, we'll get to have the injury update, the injury report.
That's true.
So we'll maybe get a little more information ahead of kickoff than we would have gotten in the past. But it is a concern with Kutas still not able to get on the field this season. If you lose Nichols, that means 2 of your starters and your interior offensive line. Not the guys you'd planned on. When you planned all summer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not where you want to start in your first road game in conference play.
I think one of the other things that I'm curious to see if it develops this upcoming season with the Arkansas offense, not just the progression of the offensive line. Hopefully Nichols comes back healthy. Hopefully you get Patrick Kutas back. But Taylor Green has struggled with deep balls this year. When he's got a guy on a post or a go, a lot of these balls are short. Now, I'll give K.J. Jefferson credit. K.J. Jefferson had a really good deep ball last year. And not just last year, but his time at Arkansas. That was an area where he was pretty successful. It was the short and intermediate throws that he struggled on. But, Tommy, I wonder, as him and Bobby Petrino continue to get on the same page, as he does with his wide receivers and his offensive line, you have a guy, I think, in Andrew Armstrong that can go make those plays. I don't know, the drop-off's heavy about that, but does that improve? Because if you can't go over the top on defenses, then they're going to, again, continue to crowd the line of scrimmage, continue to rush. It's not just about passing the football. It's can you go over the top? And you haven't seen that necessarily through 3 games with consistency that you're hoping from Taylor Green.
All right, Bet Saracen app. Have you seen the line yet?
It's what, 3? 3.5?
Right, so I can't ask you that question. Arkansas is catching 3 points as the Auburn Tigers are favored. Over-unders 58.5. You can get the Bet Saracen app and take a look at all the lines and all the bets this weekend for Arkansas and Auburn.
Does that seem high? 58.5?
No.
30 apiece?
Nope.
The only reason they're favored is because they're at home. You get 3 points for being the home team.
That's it, man. I guess that's maybe offensively I'm underestimating both these squads this weekend, but maybe I'm overestimating the defense on the flip side.
Hot Take Monday's been brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV. The best selections of RVs is even better at Wheels RV. Grand Design, Forest River, now the Brinkley Model C with the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. All there at Wheels RV. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty to help you camp with confidence. Stop by and see why Wheels has again been voted best RV dealer. They get it year after year, and there's good reason why. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72. Off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
That game you referenced, 2:30 will be the start time. They announced that yesterday, and hopefully during halftime coming up, you'll get a chance to know when the Texas A&M game is too. So that's your setup for this weekend. I'm of course, excited about this Auburn game, but I want to see that Oklahoma and Tennessee game back in Norman. Josh Heupel returns home, place he won a Heisman Trophy, place he won a national championship, place he was fired. That, to me, is the college football game this weekend, and it's where game day is, too.
Yep, and I'm excited for Arkansas to go on the road. They played better on the road. Maybe that trend continues. They got to figure out this home field deal and why they don't play well under Sam and or as well, but I think he'll have them on point and ready to go.
Let's hope so. All right, we'll continue to talk about it throughout the week. Tom Murphy joins us tomorrow, Richard Davenport on Wednesday, and then also Tom again Thursday, and then Mr. Clay Henry will join us on Friday. So a loaded week ahead, and you got a loaded halftime show ahead. I'm sure that Phil and Matt will talk about the Hall of Honor stuff with Matt getting honored this weekend, this past Friday. So that's going to do it for us. Appreciate you listening. Halftime is next with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV